Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. At the time of doing this video, it is the night before I head off to the GBBF, the Great British Beer Festival, at the Birmingham NEC. So it's Wednesday the 6th and I will be going tomorrow, Thursday the 7th. So I'm looking forward to that. I've never done sort of like a beer festival like that sort of thing before. I've done silly little things at pubs and what have you, and I've done like the Shrewsbury Oktoberfest thing, which is quite a big thing at the quarry, but never done anything like this. So I'm really looking forward to it. I could do with a couple of days away as well, with things going on at home. So it's going to be a nice little break, and hopefully it's going to be really good. And I will be meeting up with Simo Sups, Mr. B's Homebrews and Beer Review. So Simo and Rob. Obviously Rob will be taking his wife Jolie, and also apparently David Wilson is going to be there as well. So I'm looking forward to having a catch up, and it'll be good if anyone else who watches the channel goes along, and if they see me and they want to say hello, feel free. I'm not a dragon or a dog. I won't bite or blow fire at you. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So stop talking about that now. Let's get on with the beer review, and it is another one. I've got two more beers to do that was sent to me from this chap and from this brewery. The brewery we are looking at is Powderkeg Brewery, and these beers were sent to me very kindly from the Urban Viking Hour Review. So if you haven't gone to check out his channel, please go and check it out. He's a great bloke. He's definitely one of them channels that I watched and I thought, yeah, I like him. Quick, short, informative, everything that I'm probably not, but yeah, go and check out his channel if you haven't. So a big thank you to you, mate. So like I say, another one from Powderkeg Brewery, and it's gluten-free and vegan, as I think all their beers are, and we are taking a look at their Harmony Hell's Lager. It is a 330ml can, which isn't Dave's fault, but it's very, very disappointing when you get 330s. And it's coming in at 4.2% ABV, and they've all got sort of similar artwork but different. It's got that kind of thing, that look about it, but it's all slightly different. I'm not going to try and read anything on here. I could do, but I can't be asked, to be honest. Yeah, go on then, we'll have a go. Simple elements expertly orchestrated to create a perfectly tuned crisp session lager. Ingredients: water, barley, hops, yeast and wheat. Hopped with, bear with me, Saz hops. I thought that's what it was, Saz hops. So Saz hops generally used in, I think, Czech beer really. So stop talking, get it cracked open. It is nice and chilled, and because it is a Hell's Lager, I'm going to whack it in my little Diddy Lowenbrau glass. So that's a German Hell's Lager. This is a British Hell's Lager, if you like, but that glass will do. Let's get a crack and see what we get. I've liked the beers so far, actually, from Powderkeg. They've not been big woucher moments, but they've been good solid beers, I think, in my opinion. And I'm saving the big one till last. I've got a Mandarina Kolsch, I think it is, pale ale to do. I've got 2 tins of that, so that'd be a bigger glass. But I've also got, I think it was a 750 Session IPA, 3.4%. But it's sort of like one of them sort of one-off brews. So I'm looking forward to that one. That's the one I'm going to leave till last. Anyway, let's stop talking. There we go, beer in a glass. Very few bubbles going up. Sort of golden in colour, I'm going to say. And a nice sort of little head on top. Looking pretty decent. And, you know, it doesn't look out of place in that Lowenbrau glass. So let's try and give it a swirl again. And dive in with the nose, see if we get that sort of, oh, apart from me spilling it everywhere. Saz hops, I should get a little bit of a spicy, peppery sort of bite to it. But there should be a bready note as well, so let's dive in. Yeah, that's nice actually. You definitely get that little spicy bite that you'd expect, sort of like a Hell's. You always get that, not always, but I would say quite a lot of the time, with a Hell style lager, you do still get that little sort of Pilsner sort of bite to it. This has got that. But it's also got a very bready nose. slightly sweet malt, and a little hint of citrus. I mean, it's smelling the part for starters. So I'm going to stop talking. Powderkeg Brewery and their Harmony Helles Lager, 4.2%. Smells good, looks good. Let's give it a taste. See if we get 3 out of 3. Cheers. Right, we are back. Interrupted. Right, so where were we? On the tasting. I've gone in on the taste. Smells good. We've had 2 out of 2. Looks good. Smells good. Let's see. On the tasting. I've had some of it already. Yeah, it ain't bad. It ain't bad. I'm not going to say it's lacking a bit of breadiness for me on that first sort of taste. So body of the beer, 4.2%. I would say it's, I don't know if I'm being a bit harsh, but it does feel a touch light, even though it's only 4.2%, it does feel a touch light. And as I said just before, it's lacking a little bit of breadiness in the taste, and that may be the side that's sort of missing, that just stops it from having a slightly better body. Carbonation is gentle. There's not a lot going on in carbonation. Like I said, you're not really seeing any bubbles go up, but it is there and it is gentle. I think it could maybe do with a touch more. Not a bad mouthfeel with that gentle carbonation. I mean, it certainly doesn't, even though the body feels quite lightish, carbonation doesn't ruin it. Smooth, reasonably, yeah. It certainly doesn't have the smoothness of maybe some other sort of beers you have, but it's not particularly rough, like I say, and the mouth feels okay. Body's a little bit underwhelming, could do with a bit of breadiness. It sounds like a lot of criticism, but I think I'm just kind of going in depth with the beer really for what it is. On the taste, you do get a bready note. You do get that little Pilsner bite that you get with some Helles. Citrus, little lemon citrus note again. Helles lagers, I mean, you know, they're very much sort of somewhere in between, sort of. Although you expect more breadiness, you certainly get a lot with that little bite to it. This is coming across between sort of like Pilsner and Helles. There is a little bit of breadiness, like I said. You do get that little lemon citrus. You do get that nice little bite. It does feel German, but I think it just needs a little bit more breadiness for me. I think if it had that, I don't know how much could I say? I don't know. Let's just say 10% more breadiness to the beer. I think it would take it from something that certainly resembles a German sort of Helles to actually thinking, yeah, this is actually really decent for what it is. For me, I think it's a little bit sort of, although it's got all the notes there, it could just do with being slightly amplified. Pardon me. 4.2%. Yeah, it drinks like that. I mean, it's by no means, I've sort of done this video and I've given it certainly feel like I've criticised it a lot. But that said, there's nothing nasty in there. It certainly doesn't have that British feel to it that you do get when some British breweries try and do sort of like a German style lager. It is enjoyable. But, you know, do I knock it, or do I say, you know, at the end of the day, it is on, you know, 4.2%, it is quite low. If it had been 4.8, 4.9, would it just add that little bit more boldness and been a better beer? Quite possibly. I'm not going to totally slate it, because I actually think it ain't that bad, but it could be that little bit better. but I think the ABV would have to go up on it and that and what have you. But yeah, it's an enjoyable beer. But I think when you look at what you can pick up in the supermarkets, like the Warsteiner, Pilsner Urquell and all that, like Kronbacher, and you can get Spaten and that, they just offer that little bit more, and probably price-wise there probably isn't a lot of difference. But it's a nice enough drop, and if you are local to Powderkeg Brewery and you are thinking of trying it or you're visiting there, it's well worth a go. I don't think it's massively going to blow your mind, but it's definitely not a bad beer at all. One of them, good, but could do better. So, Powderkeg Brewery and their Harmony House Lager, 4.2%. I'm going to give it a thumbs up because it's not a shit beer. I'm going to give it a thumbs up because it's not a shit beer. It's just not... You just would have wanted a little bit more. So, there you go. There's my thought on that beer. If you've had it before, let me know your thoughts on it. Thank you all for watching. A massive thank you to Dave from the Urban Viking Hour Review. Don't forget, go and check out his channel if you haven't already. Feel free to give the video a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and obviously if you want to. And I will see you again soon on another beer review. Come on, the Great British Beer Festival. Woohoo!